Welcome back to the long-awaited debut of Season 4 in the Gamecocks Revamped Dynasty. We are back, and we are opening up against an SEC opponent for the second straight year, and it's the same team, Mississippi State. We took them on last year. As you can see, our standings predictions right now have us at number 1, Florida at number 2, Oklahoma at number 3, and then on the western side of things, you've got Alabama, Texas, and Texas A&M. This one is going to be interesting because we have a lot of new faces on this roster. It's not the team you're used to, and a lot of the seniors that were so big for this offense have graduated, and that's because, that's why this quarterback battle is going on right now. Julius Canary is going to get the benefit of the doubt, but Braden Davis and Johnny King, I think, deserve to get a chance. Canary did shine, though, in training camp. LaVesa Carroll finally gets a chance to start at wide receiver. Then we'll see Landon Sampson, Brandon Robinson, and DJ Long as our top 3 receivers. Chris Dobzinski will also get something. But the Bulldogs are led by a few seniors themselves. Sawyer Robertson is the impact player today, and Simeon Price is another electric running back there for the Bulldogs. They have some talent behind him as well that we'll have to keep an eye out for. But so far today, the Gamecocks defer the kickoff or the coin toss, and they're going to kick it off to the Bulldogs here to start the day. Thomas Mayhew is looking to boot it deep, and we are underway here in Season 4. Last year, we ended with a national championship, but this year we're looking to protect our title and go back-to-back. The Bulldogs, though, Sawyer Robertson is starting back there out of the shotgun. He's going to give it to Simeon Price, who spins off of the first tackler. Price is wide open down the right side across the 50, pushing his way down to the 45, a 30-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. And the Bulldogs offense now looking good. 2nd and 6. Robertson takes the snap. This time he wants to throw it. He's going to set in the pocket, throw it outside, and it's intercepted. Kawan Banks is going to make the pick, and the Bulldogs went from a 30-yard run to a pick on his first pass of the day. Kawan Banks is another talented young guy, and we get to see our offense for the first time today. Julius Canary gives it to Brandon Robinson on the curl route, breaking a tackle and running for 17. Now, as the Gamecocks, we got a 1st and 10. It's going to be LaVesa Carroll on his first run as the starter. He's got 7 yards there. That is a good start for him. Interested really to see what he can do now. 2nd and 3. Canary has Carroll to his right in the shotgun. Canary's going to throw it himself. Intercepted by Diggs, though. He jumps the route, and he's got a convoy and a rushing right down the sideline. He's pushed out by Canary. I thought he had a convoy, but they all kind of stayed back. The offensive linemen didn't even try to block until it was too late. And now it's a 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. So both teams trade interceptions. Robertson looking for a touchdown this time, going to the corner, and it's caught. Jordan Mosley with the 8-yard strike from Sawyer Robertson. The Bulldogs find a way to get on the field or get on the board first, despite starting their day with an interception. The Gamecocks threw one themselves, but DJ Long looking to get the jet sweep at the wide receiver position. He pushes a man down. He's got 26 that time. DJ expected to have a bigger impact in the offense here in year 2 now. 2nd and 3, Canary. Another jet sweep, this time the opposite way to Landon Sampson. Sampson's got to pass the 30, down to the 25, and at about the 23-yard line. Landon Sampson showing just how talented he can be, but a 3rd and 8 now. Canary looking for the end zone. He's going to go to Robinson on the comeback, and he's caught it. Flipped over in the air, but he's still going to come down with it. Brandon Robinson on the comeback route makes a great cut. Gets open in the zone, and that is a good catch there. Now 2nd and goal from about the 1. Gamecocks looking for their first points of the year. Canary, goal line formation. In the trenches, gives it to Carroll. He bounces into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina. We are tied up at 7 now here. In this first quarter, LaVesa Carroll is going to take it up the middle. And the Bulldogs now basically back to ground 1, 7-7. Robertson's going to go to Price. This time he's got some space up the right side. Breaking Stone Blanton's tackle. He's flipped in the air after he hurdles over a man. He's got 20 on that one. A great rushing attack so far for the Bulldogs. Now 2nd and 13. Robertson's going to take it himself on the run, but he's sacked. Cole Robinson, the sophomore, had an interesting impact last year. He didn't play all that much, but this year he has been great, or this year he looks to have a big role for us as that sack set them up on a 3rd and long. They are not able to convert after 12 yards, so now a punt back to South Carolina late in this first quarter. DJ Long's 14-yard catch is enough for the first down now. 1st and 10, much farther down the field, past midfield now. Canary wants to throw it again. He's going to go across the middle. He's got Sampson, who's quickly spun down, but not after 17 yards on the route there. That's his 2nd catch of the day. 2nd and 3 now for the Gamecocks right at the beginning of the 2nd quarter. Canary just letting the play clock run down and looking at the defense. Canary's now going to go to the out route, and it's Robinson. Did he get a foot in? They're going to call him in. Thought he may have been out of bounds. That one was close, but now Canary has Brandon Hammond to his left. Hammond is a sophomore running back. He's going to go to Hammond. Hammond's got some room. He's much more of a power back than LaVesa Carroll, but we expect to use him like that now. 2nd and 2 after the run. Canary out of the shotgun, under pressure, back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, DJ Long, 6 yards. Julius Canary started with an interception, but this time he answers with a touchdown, and that one was fairly well covered. The guy just couldn't get his head around, and now we are up 14-7. Sawyer Robertson now 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. He's going to take the snap, look to throw, goes to Fuqua, and that one's dropped. Had a chance at maybe getting the first down, but instead they're going to pin us deep inside our own territory. 1st and 10. Canary out of the shotgun. You've got to get out of the end zone here, and no matter what, Canary is going to snap it with 1 second left, gives it to Carroll, and he barely gets out. He spun around right around the half marker, or half goal line marker there, and now it is a 3rd and 7. Canary still with his feet in his own end zone. Out of the shotgun. He's got 2 backs. Both of them leave. Canary steps up, gets rid of it barely in time before he gets sacked. The Gamecocks offense stalls out again, so they're going to punt it back to the Bulldogs, who have a great starting field position here on a 2nd and 8. Robertson's going to go to Price. Price is quickly muscled down, but he's going to get 1 on the play. Now 3rd and 7. You cannot squander this opportunity if you're the Bulldogs. Sawyer Robinson finds his man, Kenny Fuqua, for 12 yards, and a big catch there for the Bulldogs now. As they get into the red zone territory, Robertson's going to go to Price, who runs up the middle, running through Stone Blanton. He's got a nice gain there, setting up a 3rd and 5. Robertson's going to give it to Price again. Price is going to have the first down and then some. He's got it past the 10 and spun down at the 5 by Kwan Banks. 79 rushing yards here early for the Bulldogs. They have been unstoppable. 1st and goal, though. Robertson outside corner, and it's almost intercepted by Nelson. Should have been picked off. Instead, they live to fight another day here. 3rd and goal. Sawyer Robertson wants to throw again to the left side. Got his man, and he drops it. If he had caught it and just fell backwards, he would have had a touchdown, but instead he tried to turn around, and Thomas was unfortunately not able to hold on to it. So now a 3rd and 10 on the next Gamecocks possession. Canary's going to give it to Scott Hall, and Hall's got the first down there, 15 yards. That Gamecocks offense, they got to get going here. They allowed the Bulldogs to score a field goal last drive now. 14-10, LaVesa Carroll on a 2nd and 5 is muscled down. Great open field tackle there by the defensive back. And now a 3rd and 4, 2 of 3 so far on 3rd downs. Carroll is muscled down by the left arm of the defensive lineman. The Bulldogs now 30 seconds left in the 2nd quarter after they used a timeout. They have a chance. Robertson outside to Fuqua. He's got it. 19 yards on that one. The big tight end, Kenny Fuqua, with his 2nd catch of the day. He's got 31 yards so far. 31 seconds left, coincidentally. Robertson's going to take the snap. He wants to throw. He's going to rush up the middle, and he's muscled down by his shoulder pads. And they have to hurry up back to the line. 3rd and 12, 13 seconds left. The Bulldogs now give it to Price. Price got a little bit of space, but he's quickly brought down, and they wouldn't even use a timeout. So the Gamecocks now force it into halftime, up 14-10. And we've got to get a little bit better on offense. Scott Hall's going to start the second half. He is tripped up and by the linebacker across the middle of the field, but still a nice 13-14 yard gain. Now 2nd and 4. Carroll has nowhere to go. I thought he would have got a little bit more there. Instead, the loss is going to set up a 3rd and 5. We're 2 of 4 on 3rd downs. This time, though, make it 2 of 5. The screen to Brandon Robinson had no chance there, and the Bulldogs get the ball back. 2nd and 11 now to start their next drive. Robertson with a 2-back set. They're going to fake it to Avery. A play-action pass to Jordan Mosley, who's wide open and bounces off of the defender in the secondary and out of bounds. Mosley beats his man off the jump there, and he's in the wide open spot of the zone coverage. A big gain there for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 7. Robertson's going to go to Simeon Price. He's got some space, but he's brought down after just 4. Thought he may have had a much bigger game, but instead, it is a 3rd and 3. Robertson, you can't take a sack. Instead, he takes a 4-yard loss. I guess it doesn't count as a sack because it was a running play, but that is the 5th tackle for loss, and that would kick them out of field goal range. Now 1st and 10. Chris Dobzinski's got the first down and then some, 16 yards. 3rd and 1 now later on the drive. Caneri's going to go to Lavesa Carroll. He's got the power run to the outside, and he's got a first down. 8 yards on the play. 1st and 10 now. Pretty even split. 20 rushes, 18 passes. Caneri calling an audible. He's going to take the snap. Wants to throw. Instead, he's quickly sacked and brought down by the defensive line. As the offense now faces a 3rd and 13. Caneri, he wants to throw. This one's intercepted by Lewis. He sailed it. Clayton can't get him by the ankles. And he has got a wide open pick 6. Julius Caneri sailed the pass. If he had just thrown it as a bullet, it would have been probably a catch and maybe a couple of yards to the true freshman Ryan Clayton, the highly touted 4-star. But instead, it is a lob pass, and the Gamecocks trail 17-14 now as we're in the final 2.5 minutes, basically, of the 3rd quarter. Emery Floyd returning kicks now for the Gamecocks special teams. He's got to cut out to the 30, to the 40, across the 50, down and spinning across the 40. No, he's Markham at the 41. A 57-yard return as we have basically dominated this one. But on a 3rd and 9, not a lot of chances here. Brandon Hammond gets the catch, and it's a 5-yard gain. So the Gamecocks and head coach Belak Shmeem set up a 4th and 4 attempt. Julius Caneri out of the shotgun. Carroll's going to go out of the pocket. He's going to fire. It's deflected and incomplete. DJ Long had both of his hands on it, but he just could not hang on to the ball. So the Bulldogs now have a great chance to take the lead. Simeon Price has got it across the 50, down the left sideline to the 30, and breaking a few tackles across around the 25, a 40-yard gain. I shouldn't say they have a chance to take the lead. They have a chance to extend their lead. 2nd and 9, Robertson, all kinds of time, stepping up. He runs it and tricks Westmoreland. He's got 16 on that one. I thought it was going to be a pass to the running back, so Westmoreland went to the running back. Instead, he kept it himself, but on a 1st and goal, he is brought down by Cole Robertson, who is setting the edge there very well. 3rd and goal now to start the 4th quarter. Robertson wants to throw. He's got his man Harmon. Thankfully, Antonio Harmon can't get more than 7. And they have a chance just to settle for the field goal or go for it. Looks like they're going to kick it, and Kramer with the hold. The kick is good. 20-14 now for the Bulldogs. This one is a make-or-break drive, in my opinion, for us as true freshman Johnny King, or redshirt freshman Johnny King, comes into the game to take Julius Caneri's job for right now in this 4th quarter. King starts the drive with a completion for a first down now. 1st and 10. King into coverage. Should have been picked off. Oh, Wesley Miller had his hands on it. And Johnny King, the freshman, basically has to just thank him for dropping that one. Live to fight another day. 3rd and 10. Johnny King wants to throw. This one's to Dobzinski. He's upended, but he's got 17, and that is a first down. 2nd and 8 now. King is going to go to Brandon Hammond, who's been a good power back for the Gamecocks. This time, he's got 12 yards on the gain. Carroll now back in the game. 2nd and 10. King's going to go to Carroll. Carroll is wrapped up quickly in the backfield. A 3-yard loss, and the Gamecocks now a 3rd and 13. 4.5 minutes left. King takes the snap immediately to Hall. He's got him down the seam and into the end zone. The 3rd catch of the day for Scott Hall, and 46 yards and a touchdown now. 2nd and 1. 21-20 is your score now. The Bulldogs are going to run it. Sawyer Robertson fumbles the football. Stone Blanton picks it up across the 20. He's got nobody near him, and it's a touchdown as he dives in celebrating. Stone Blanton, right place at the right time, and the Gamecocks force a turnover, and they are going to score off of it. So now it's an 8-point game. 3rd and 4. Sawyer Robertson goes to Fuqua. He's got it. But Stone Blanton does an excellent job of bringing him down. For whatever reason, they don't go for it, though. They give it back to South Carolina now on a 1st and 10. Carroll is upended by about 3 defenders. They only have 140 rushing yards. Johnny King trying to come in and save the day here. 2 minutes left. 3rd and 10. A first down could essentially end this one. King, he wants to throw. King, no pressure. Instead, the pass sails. Not even near anybody. I guess it was intended for Brandon Robinson, but the Bulldogs get another chance. 1st and 10. Robertson wants to take the snap. He wants to pass this time. Thomas is going to cut it up the middle of the field. A couple of guys diving at his feet. But Todd Thomas with the first down for 17. Robertson, though, in the hurry up, sacked for 4. So a 3rd and 13 now. 4 down territory. 2 timeouts left for Mississippi State. Robertson sends a man in motion. That's Fuqua. Kenny Fuqua is going to stay in the block. Robertson makes the pass. He's got a man deep, and it's dropped. Oh, did he hang on? No. Nelson had the man beaten and maybe even had a touchdown, but instead he dropped it, tried to get back to it, and then it was too late as he was hit on the 2nd attempt. Robertson, 4th and 13, can't get the first down. Antonio Harmon caught it at the 11-yard gain, but he fell out of bounds, and a first down could essentially end the day here for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 10, DJ Long on the jet sweep, muscles his way across the first down marker, and the Gamecocks will start the year 1-0, and not a beautiful sight here. 28-20, Lavosa Carroll will end the day with a bad 3-yard loss, but still, 3rd and 14, 13 seconds left. We just get to run the clock down. Lavosa Carroll finished the day, 24 rushes, 72 yards. Not the prettiest output for Carroll, but head coach Smeem starts the year 1-0 with the new offensive coordinator, as much as I hate to say it, Dabo Swinney and company. A good answer to a big punch that the Bulldogs gave us there in that first half or in that 3rd quarter, in my opinion. Starting 1-0, like I said, the Bulldogs hit us hard in that 2nd half or in that 3rd quarter, scoring 7 and holding us to 0. Julius Canary wasn't expecting to bench him that early. Sawyer Robertson had a good day, but not a great day. 136 yards, 1 touchdown through the air, 1 interception. For their rushing game, Sawyer Robertson had 13 and 12. Simeon Price was amazing, 11 for 128. He didn't even have a touchdown, though. Receiving wise, they didn't have anybody too valuable or too reliable. Jordan Mosley had the 1 touchdown catch and 48 yards. Kenny Fuqua had some big plays there as well. Defensively, though, they really shined. They had an interception for Harris. Diggs had the interception. John Lewis had the interception. I meant a sack for Harris, not an interception. But they still just weren't able to finish the deal. I really thought at one point in that 3rd quarter, if they had went down the field and scored a touchdown instead of kicking the field goal there to make it 20-14, this game is likely over. Johnny King, throwing him in the game there late in that 4th quarter, basically, to just try and come back is not a recipe for success, but it still worked at the end of the day. He didn't even have to be that great. 5 of 9. 51 yards and a touchdown. Julius Canary was okay, honestly. 15 of 22, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Lavosa Carroll had 24 for 72 and a touchdown. Julius Canary, he got sacked a lot. He ended up with -9 yards. Brandon Hammond was actually good when he got on the field, 2 for 20. DJ Long had 2 for 37, and Landon Sampson 1 for 27. Wide receiver number 1, Brandon Robinson, 5 for 55. Scott Hall, 3 for 46 and a touchdown. Brandon Hammond, 3 for 12. Landon Sampson, 2 for 24. And DJ Long, 2 for 20 and a touchdown. We also had a couple of forced turnovers, thankfully. 1 interception there by Kwan Banks. Stone Blanton led the way with 10 tackles, 1 for loss. Rory Patrick starting his season strong with the sack and 2 total tackles. TJ Sanders starting his season strong with the sack. Cole Robinson didn't have a sack, but he had 5 tackles for loss, so he has really came out of his shell here to start the year. Nick Barrett with the sack. And then we also, I believe, was it Stone Blanton with the forced fumble? It was. Rory Patrick forced the fumble. Stone Blanton recovered it, returned it 31 yards and a touchdown there. And that was a very shocking turn of events there. I was expecting us to kind of, have to dig out of a hole there. But instead, the defense, basically it was 21-20. We were up by 1. The Bulldogs had a great opportunity to drive down the field and score, but the defense just snatched it away from their hands, and they essentially ended the game before it was over. But As far as recruiting goes here in Season 4, hope you guys are excited because this is an important year. We've got a pretty young roster. So there's just some really talented guys we're going after. The only position we technically need is going to be this strong safety position. I think going after Andy McIntyre, a 77 overall, 77 overall, 78 overall actually, strong safety is a good opportunity for us. He could probably start almost immediately, and I'm not going to have to put a lot of points into guys that I don't really think have a major role. I haven't went through and given all the points out. I'm not going to do that right now because why not? Let's go ahead and do it. My main focus for this season alone is to really get some depth going on the offensive line. That's one of our biggest issues. I think the reason or something that's been holding us back. We've never really had a very strong offensive line. So I think if we're able to give a lot of points to these guys and try our best just to get some talent. I know it looks like a lot of points. I am going to give Johnny Palmer, since we're just leading him, I'm going to give him some points there. That leaves us with about 3,500 points left. Then we go over here to the guard position, Jamie Lane. I'm going to give him 500. And then Brandon Boone, we're actually only down 90 on, so I'm going to give him about 580. And I think that's a good spot there. For the center position, we do have actually a good guy that we're leading on out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, Luke Carter. I'm going to give him about 600 there. We are going through our points fairly quickly, but I want to make sure that we get everybody that's pretty good. Out of Michigan, we've got Brandon Wade. He is a 4-star defensive end. We also have a few good defensive tackles out of California and one out of Georgia. We're going to go after Tim Fletcher. We're not going to go crazy after him. We'll give him 300, and then we'll give James Watson a extra 400 there. That's going to set us up at 5,880. We're going to go down here, and I do want to look at the athletes. We have Chad White. Really intrigues me. From Ohio. He's 6'7", so he's got to be like a defensive lineman, offensive lineman type guy. And like I said, we could definitely use some depth on those positions. So I'm looking at him as maybe going to fill a role that we really need him to fill. So I'm going to give him a solid 500. And that leaves us with not many points left, if I'm being honest, at all. And I will obviously go through and, adjust where I want to adjust. And I'm going to go through and see who exactly I want to give more points to or give less points to. But as of right now, for this episode, that's going to be what you guys see as the point system and exactly how we're divvying up the points. It's definitely not going to be solidified. There's definitely going to be some changes to that. But if you look at the scores/schedules for week 1, we're the only team that's ended up playing. There's got some interesting games. Ohio State, they sit at number 2. Somehow, we came into the season ranked number 5, despite winning the national championship. Ohio State with a new quarterback, C.J. Stroud, graduated last year, but the Buckeyes still rolling against Bowling Green there, 45-7. We've got a rivalry game here with the Rocky Mountain Showdown, Colorado State to Colorado in overtime. Colorado State takes the win, 44-38. It looks like they came through defensively there in overtime. They were able to stop the Buffaloes from scoring at all. Then we have a major national broadcast game of the week here. Notre Dame number 3 versus Texas number 21, and the Longhorns get the upset over the Fighting Irish. That is a strange turn of events there for the Longhorns. I believe Notre Dame still has Tyler Buckner, but they still managed to lose that one. Let's keep going down here. This is how I'm going to do this pretty much. I think it's better for me to show you guys the games simulated live, the ones that we really care about a lot. Louisville and Tennessee, Chick-fil-A kickoff game could be an interesting one. The Volunteers haven't had too many great seasons, but they sweep the Cardinals 31-0. Taven Jackson had himself a great game, including a pick 6 for the Volunteers, so maybe we have to look out for them. UCLA taking on Rutgers, Nevada taking on California. Let's see who else is. Any other big games? LSU, they've been bad. They just lost their head coach. Can they bounce back starting the year? They do take down Southern Miss. They're expected to, obviously, but 42-3 is a big scoring differential. TCU in the Texas kickoff game in Houston there, taking on Kentucky, and the Wildcats lose to start the year again, 26-14. Kentucky has not had it easy in this franchise mode. They didn't score anything in the first half. They let TCU go up 24-14, or 20-14 it looks like, before they actually scored in the second half. And then we have the another nationally broadcast game, Crimson Tide. They brought in a new head coach to take over for Nick Saban. Let's see how they start. They beat Michigan State. So, Crimson Tide are now 1-0 on the year, 38-28. Georgia and Oklahoma is the biggest game of the week, obviously, but we do have a rivalry game here, Utah and Utah State. The Utes are going to take that one pretty easily, 31-20. Utah has been pretty good in this dynasty. They consistently have been ranked in the top 10. And now the Bulldogs and the Sooners. The Sooners had a chance to get the national championship game last year, but they lost to us in the final or second to last game of the regular season, and they went on to lose their bowl game as well. Can the Sooners start out the year 1-0? They do. Georgia, still, despite how talented their roster is, despite being led by Kirby Smart, they just haven't been able to find much consistent success, even with Gunnar Stockton coming in as their new starting quarterback and Oscar Delp being there still. This Georgia team has struggled, and you've got to think they're going to have to resolve something or find a resolution soon, whether that's firing Kirby Smart and finding a new coach, or just trying to change up their offense and defensive schemes to see if they can succeed anymore. But as always, to end this episode, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me. If you did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload of this series. I'll catch each and every one of y'all next episode. Peace.